Alright, everyone.
Yes.
So let's grab Jenna again. No. Okay. Let's go and push Jenna.
Let's push Jenna into Carl so the knife dives into our ram friend.
Maybe
Well,
it'll
horses
ram
are equine. Well, horses are equines. What are goats? Because rams are basically goats, right?
I think so. I don't remember. Alright, let's push Jenna.
Push her.
Carl, watch out! I yell as loud as I can before giving the fox the hardest shove I can give. I do it at an angle so she doesn't directly hit Carl. Carl leaps to the side as I slam into her, sending Jenna forward to faceplant into the rocks and dirt. I reach out to Carl just as Raven goes blurring past me. He leaps onto Jenna, pinning her down.
Go! Just go! We'll figure something out later, but you need to get away, Carl!
Raven snarling as he tries to keep Jenna pinned, something that doesn't match his cheerful face at all. Carl stumbles to his feet, then turns and starts jogging away. Carl, wait! Help me up! Carl seems to hesitate before finally turning around and leaning over to help pick me up. And with that, we limp away towards the road. I think we're heading towards the mansion again, but Carl turns us towards to the road, to the town instead. The growls and snarls get fainter behind us, and I start to worry about what's going to happen to Raven. Hopefully Jenna just stops once Carl is out of sight. He seems to be the only thing she's interested in right now. Carl breathes raggedly in my ear, over the sounds of his stumbling clops and my dragging shuffles. Carl, you want to go back to your house instead? Carl doesn't respond, and I look over to him to see him looking straight ahead, eyes fixed on nothing. Carl? He gives his head a little shake, so I go back to staring at my own feet. My ankle is numb at this point, which I guess is better than the lancing pain I'd had earlier. We're further down the road now, to the point where I can't hear Jenna or Raven anymore. Going this way might have been a good idea, since Jenna will probably end up going back to the mansion. Does she just need time to cool down? And where are we supposed to go now? I'm starting to realize what just happened is going to... I'm starting to realize that what just happened is going to affect everything. How are we even going to be near each other now? Jenna just tried to kill Carl. Jenna? Or John. Feel a sudden burst of anger towards him. A fucking serial killer possessing her, forcing her to do this shit. Carl's breathing is getting more ragged. I look over at him again, and I'm not really surprised to see tracks of tears down his face. Carl, do you need to sit down for a second? Take a rest. A few seconds later, Carl stops abruptly next to a small boulder, and I allow myself to be sat down on it. The ram doesn't sit down with me, though. Instead, he starts pacing back and forth in front of me, occasionally wiping his face with his arm. Carl? Carl, sit down.
I don't know what to do, Chase.
Neither do I. Just sit down for a sec and we'll...
No. I don't know if we'll ever get out of here.
Carl sobs, then goes into a coughing fit. No, come on. We're doing good. We're at least getting somewhere.
Where? Does he go on forever? You don't know.
I look up at the ram, trying to think of something comforting to say.
Chase, I can't do this. I need a second.
Carl turns and starts walking further down the road. Carl? Carl, wait, we shouldn't split up. Hang on. I stand unsteadily, leaning over to rest a hand on the rock as I watch Carl continuing his trek down the road towards the town.
Just wait. I need a moment. I'll be back.
Carl! I feel myself starting to panic as I stumble after him. I realize that not only am I afraid for Carl, for what might happen to him if he runs into this if he runs off into this fake world, but I'm also afraid of being left alone here without Carl. I hobble after him, but I realize immediately that I'm not going to catch up. I watch him get further and further away, down the middle of the road. I wheeze, clutching my chest as I try to keep up, the sides of my vision starting to turn white. Just like the milk he's probably going to go get, right? I'm not sure what it is. The panic, my breathlessness, or the world itself. But the whiteness seems to pulse with the faint sobs of the ram in front of me. Slowly, the white takes over, and I'm in a fog. There's a distant, rhythmic pounding that sounds like a gong. Where have I heard it before? I feel a twinge of worry in my chest that I'm going to be late for my next class. Ah yeah, school. That's the clock tower that chimes every hour. Freezing cold leaks through my fur and stings at my nose. I bring my hands up to rub at my shoulders, shivering. The ground is covered in snow, even though it never snows here. At least not this much. We had a flurry once a few years ago, and even that was a surprise. But here it is, piled up on the ground. My mind is still catching up to me, feeling as if I've woken up in a dream. Fuck. What happened? Carl. I was chasing after Carl on the road. It all comes back to me slowly. I was going after Carl after Jenna tried to... I hear clopping up ahead of me. My head snaps. Okay, game over. My head snaps. My head snaps up, looking into the fog, unable to see clearly through it. Hello? Carl? My voice echoes into the emptiness of the university. Pueblo University. It feels like I haven't been here in months rather than just a week. I rub my shoulders again before padding up slowly onto one of the buildings. The pain on my ankle is now a dull, throbbing feeling, almost like it's dead. It doesn't seem like a good thing, but at least I can walk. It's just that I have to limp, feeling like I'm walking with a giant log instead of a leg. I focus on the building in front of me. I don't remember this one. In fact, I don't really remember any of them. Buildings are different shapes, just built with the same materials and colors as the buildings at the university. I reach out, grasping at the handle. It's locked. I stare at the door for a while, unsure of what to do. More distant clopping up the sidewalk gets my attention, so I start moving in that direction again. Carl? I call out more softly now because I'm starting to feel afraid of where I am. While I can't see anyone, the fur on my neck is prickling, like I'm somehow extremely vulnerable. Guess the only thing I know for sure about this ordeal is that nothing is as it seems. And for some reason, I don't feel like I'm safe in this place.
You were never there for me. No?
I jump. Carl? The only response is silence. At least it sounded like Carl. Kind of. It was crackly, and muffled, like it was coming through a phone. I start to jog up the sidewalk, and I notice that I'm stepping through the snow, like it's not really there either. We're not gonna hurt ya. The voice comes right over my shoulder, and I cringe and let out a yelp, stumbling in my run, and turn to face whatever just whispered in my ear. I stare at nothing. It had that same crackly mechanical sound to it. My fur is now standing up all over my body, and I rub at my shoulders again, hugging my chest. A soft sound, maybe a footstep, behind me makes me whirl around in the other direction to find more emptiness. I stifle a whine and start trotting up the sidewalk again. This place is different. Something about this place is dangerous. It's unlike the mansion or the cabin, or even being next to that hanging guy. Something could hurt me here. I don't know how I know, but I know. Carl? My voice is getting more desperate. I've never felt more alone. Right now, more than anything, I just want to find Carl.
You wanted me to be there for you.
I jump, but I keep jogging, basically hopping with the way my leg isn't working at all.
That's funny.
The sidewalk starts to curve, and I come up on the school's pond. I whisper to myself, "Fuck, where are you?" As I keep walking, the ground no longer feels smooth. Instead, I feel little pointed bits of rock sticking into my feet pads, even though there's smooth pavement when I look down at the ground. I pass a little stone bench, one that Carl liked to sit on back when he was in school with me that first semester.
I just can't, man. I wish I could, but every stupid fucking thing I say is so stupid.
Trust me, man. It's not. I lift my hands up to my throat, shocked because I definitely didn't say that. My voice is coming through like the others, muffled, distant, from the direction of that bench.
You don't understand. It's like I can't stop going over what I say to people. Then I just worry about it for days after.
Well, just don't. Just forget about it.
Huh. Right.
Seriously, man, no one cares. Just don't worry about it, okay?
Yeah, okay.
I turn around, moving back the way I came, not wanting to hear those voices coming from the bench. I move back to where I was and look around more. The sidewalk branches off in several different directions, and I have no idea which one to take.
You weren't there for me.
What? I stand there for a moment, feeling the panic starting to rise. What's the matter, Gunterface? We're not gonna hurt ya. That's not Carl. That's not me. I'm hearing things. I close my eyes, hugging my chest again, stilling my breath, my breathing. Softer clopping sounds come from my left. I open my eyes and immediately move in that direction. Hey, we're just playing. I grit my teeth and mumble to myself. I was a kid. What was I supposed to do? There's no response as I keep moving. A loud pop makes me jump and cover my head. What the hell was that? Was that a gunshot? I crouch on the sidewalk, looking left and right, but not seeing anyone. Was someone shooting at me? It had seemed kind of far away. Whatever it was, just sitting here probably isn't going to help me, so I start moving again, a little faster, bent over. To my left, I see the football stadium rising up into the fog. I'd gone there for a few games, and a dance that they held on the field for homecoming.
Dude, I'm not feeling very good. Wanna go back and play something?
Come on, I told you not to be like this.
Can't really help it, man.
Just tough it out another hour.
No, man. I'm gonna head back.
Alright then.
Alright. Later.
I keep going, whispering to myself, to Carl. Is that you, Carl? Can you actually hear me? No response. I keep going, listening for clops. When I hear them, I follow them. After what seems about 10 minutes, I come to a smaller building, one that the path leads directly into. I slow my pace as I come up to it, staring at the door. I listen for a long while, but there aren't any more clops. I reach out and rest my hand on the handle, then give a slight pull, expecting it to be locked, but it inches open smoothly. Staring at it for a while longer, I finally pull the door open and find our old dorm room. Like most things in this nightmare, it isn't exactly the same. Actually, it's about 3 times larger, 3 times longer, like it's the interior of a stretch limo or something. And at the very end of it, I see Carl splayed out on one of the beds. It doesn't have a mattress in it, so he's just laying on the flatboards. Slowly, I hobble over to him. He's staring up at the ceiling, and I'm kind of surprised to see a slight smile on his face. Hey, Carl? Carl looks over at me, surprised.
Whoa! Hey, man. Hey, dude. What's up?
He laughs over the last few words. I stare at him. What? Are you okay?
Actually? Yeah. I kinda am.
Are you sure? I move over to the opposite bed, my old bed.
Yeah. For the first time all week, actually.
I push myself onto the bed, which is off the ground a good 3 feet more than at the university. I feel my feet dangle over the edge.
Is your ankle okay? I told you to wait. I just needed a minute.
I frown. Seriously? You just left me there, in a place with smoke monsters. Carl grimaces.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
What happened? I slide around on the bed to face the ram, noticing that while they're tall, they're a lot shorter in length. Short enough that Carl's hooves stick over the edge.
Well, Jenna tried to kill me.
I rub my shoulders, looking away. Yeah, but you know she's not right but you know she's not in her right mind right now. We were talking about how maybe John...
Oh, it's definitely John. James tried to do the same thing to me.
Yeah? I was gonna ask... what it was like. What it was like. Carl pokes at the wall above his head, tapping it with his finger.
Well, he basically told me that I needed to find some stuff out. Keep lies from getting out. That he couldn't tell me why.
I wonder what John's telling Jenna. Carl shrugs. I mean, it can't be good if he's a serial killer.
Yeah?
Another period of silence. I don't mind it. Feels kind of nice. Not at all like outside, where I felt like I was in imminent danger. The only problem right now is that something smells kind of bad, but it's subtle enough that it's not really bothering me. Oh, I see what's going on. This room is safe and the outside is dangerous. We are in Carl's, I think I get it.
He might surprise you.
So, because
Go ahead,
Carl
take a
is
guess.
because Carl is the one who led to this, it's giving a reflection of something from Carl. So the outside is Carl. So this world is Carl's anxiety. The outside is dangerous and scary, and these people are most likely not being as threatening as they seem. But it's Carl's anxiety that is making them seem way more scary and dangerous than they actually are when they're really not that dangerous. And here,
Yeah.
because this is Carl's safe space, he feels fine. And he can just hang out here forever.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, so this
Anxiety does do stuff like that.
Yeah, so
Anxiety does make everything seem more dangerous.
Yeah, so this is Carl's headspace. Which explains why he likes to just stay inside 24/7 and never go outside. So, we're at the university, huh?
Yep.
Wonder why you hear the voices out there?
Yeah?
Things go quiet again, and I wonder what the hell Carl might be thinking. He looks ridiculously peaceful. Okay, did you find weed somewhere? Because you're looking as chill as I've ever seen you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Carl scratches his nose.
Well, I guess I just realized some stuff.
I wait, but he doesn't go on. Like what?
Well, Chase, that I don't need you.
I frown. What? Carl laughs.
And no offense, man, but I realize that I rely on people too much, you know?
I still don't really know. Did something happen?
I guess I always sort of held it against you with what happened with Clint back in the day.
Oh, the fight?
Yeah. And also some things at college, but then I realized that isn't fair.
He pauses, but I don't say anything.
I realized that I'm really responsible for myself in the end, that I need to help myself.
That's good. I can't help but wonder if now is the best time for this epiphany Carl is having, but it explains the setting we're in right now. Did he do this with his own mind? Is everything we've been through the result of our own imaginations? Carl sits up suddenly, rubbing the bed.
And that I'm sick of feeling like I have to do something important. That I need to be important.
He turns on his butt to face me and spreads out his hands.
Because I'm not. I'm not important at all. I'm a rich ass spoiled little shit. And that's about it.
Come on, Carl.
No, it's a good thing. I'm happy because I realize I'm okay with that.
Carl smirks at me.
I want to go to college, but I want to get an art degree. Then I just want to get some job I can halfway stand and play games in my free time.
He stares at me and I stare back. Okay. Carl laughs again.
I know, this sounds stupid, but realizing this, it just feels good to feel comfortable in my own skin. I haven't been comfortable in so fucking long.
Oh, that's good. I try to smile for the ram. But I mean, we still need to get out of here if you're gonna do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird that I'm feeling this way right now. But what isn't weird here?
Carl reaches out to the wall again, feeling it carefully.
Anyway, when I said I didn't need you, it sounded fucked up. And I still love you, man.
Yeah, I love you too.
But I needed to say it out loud, I guess. I don't need anyone to make me feel okay. I just need to be okay with myself. And I guess I am.
I give Carl a weak smile, not sure what else to say.
Sounds cliche, huh? But it's true.
I mean, I'm just happy that you're okay. You ran away so suddenly.
I had another panic attack. Almost as bad as the one I had here.
Carl points over to the opposite end of the room, at a desk.
I came back from that stupid dance and had a bunch of homework to do for that computer programming class my dad made me take. I don't know. Having that bad experience at the dance, then trying to figure out programming I didn't fucking understand. Something cracked.
Carl looks over at me.
When I got back home, things were worse than they'd ever been. Then one time I dropped acid and thought I killed you.
I make a face, but Carl waves his hand.
Long story, but then I thought that was a sign that maybe you were the one that was holding together all that time.
Carl, I had no idea.
Yeah? How were you supposed to know? I didn't say anything. And when you came back to Echo, I thought maybe I could pull myself together with you there.
Carl grins.
Then, after this hellscape thing and Jenna, I just got fed up with it, I guess.
Carl shrugs.
I don't know. I cracked again. But it's like I cracked back in place. I just feel okay now. That we're gonna get through this.
I finally kinda chuckle too. I'm happy for you. I really am. Just wish we could actually get back to Echo so you can feel better there. Carl taps his teeth loudly with his fingers, then looks at me.
Dude, I think we are.
Hmm? I look at him quizzically. Carl runs a hand over the bed again.
I just realized something. Looking at this place. Can you see it?
I furrow my brows. See what?
This place seem familiar at all? Because now I'm seeing something completely different.
I squint. No? Looks like the dorm, just a super long version of it. Carl smiles.
Nah, man. We're in the diner.
What? But I can't go on. But I can't go on. But I can't go on because as soon as I see the shape of the diner, the dorm room melts away like a mirage. I'm on a table and Carl sits across from me on the opposite table. Oh. Carl's smile stretches into a grin.
I guess we see the truth now.
We had it all along.
Romancing the otter. Yeah.
So, we've been here the whole time? I gasp heavily, leaning on Carl as we make our way up the road towards the mansion.
Looks that way. I think it all happened in my house.
I look around me, in the darkness of the night. While the surreal feeling of dreaming is gone, I still feel like I'm in some kind of nightmare. Carl tried his phone the second we realized we were back, but it was dead. Here, outside, no one is around, though we did see a few bodies in the middle of the road.
What the hell is happening? I think everyone's gone crazy.
Carl seems to be mostly talking to himself. I remember seeing Jaundice running through the street just I remember seeing Jaundice running through the street just before everything went to shit, and I'm inclined to think he's right. Should we maybe go to Leo's place instead?
I don't know. I kinda want to find Raven and Jenna. Break them out of this first.
I mean, she's still got that knife.
Maybe she's calmed down. Then we can tell them and snap them out of it.
Well, you'd think the others would come and find us, or something. The fact that they haven't. Carl grunts in acknowledgement, but doesn't say anything more. Meanwhile, the mansion looms ominously in front of us, and there's no sign of Raven or Jenna in front. There's the tree where we saw the body hanging, thankfully empty. I vaguely wonder if the newspaper clipping that the corpse ate is still there somehow. As Carl half drags me to the driveway, he hesitates.
Listen, maybe you should wait out here. I'll, wake the others up. And then I'll grab the keys and we can drive out to Peyton, get away from all this.
I laugh despite myself. Yeah, right. After everything we've been through? Besides, I saved your ass when John went after you. I might have to do it again. Carl smirks.
Yeah, alright. But if he comes at us, I want you to get the hell out of here. Get in your car and get to Peyton.
In hindsight, maybe we should have gotten my car from the hotel and left that way instead. Carl shrugs.
I would have come here anyway. I was worried about Raven right now. I'm more worried about Raven right now.
We're on the steps now, and Carl listens intently, his long ears poking up. It's dead silent. My heart rate starts to pick up as Carl reaches for the door, imagining Jenna, John, running out of the darkness, knife in hand. Very slowly, Carl twists the knob and pushes open the door. Thanks to the well-oiled hinges, it makes hardly a sound as it slowly swings open. We're met with darkness, aside from a few LEDs from the TV set. Carl leans close to my ear.
Kiss, kiss, kiss. I'm just kidding. At least the power's still on. I'm gonna try the landline first.
I nod as Carl and I step over the foundation and into the house. I'm happy to see that Carl's kitchen looks just like Carl's kitchen. Despite the terrifying atmosphere, there's a relief that comes with knowing that we've broken free of the nightmare, whatever that was. Just then a distant soft pop echoes from the town. We both look back for a moment and remember the sound we heard while running through Pueblo. Had someone shot at me? I don't have long to dwell on that as Carl tugs me into the kitchen, purposely leaving the door open behind us. He's probably more worried about what might be in the house rather than what's far away in the town. The ram reaches for the light switch, then thinks better of it. He leaves me to lean against the counter before moving to the phone. I look around, noticing that the table is set with a few plates with what looks like squares of drywall on them. In fact, the whole table is covered in dust that probably came from the crawl space. I frown at that before noticing a clear cup in the counter full of some kind of yellow liquid. At the same time, I see a piece of paper laying next to me, standing out on the spotless counter. I reach out, pressing a hand over it and feeling the smooth piece of paper, its size and shape familiar. I pick it up, looking around for a light source before seeing the fridge and hobbling over to it.
Line's dead. What are you doing, dude?
I open the fridge, letting the dim yellow light spill out. I hold up the paper and it seems to be a copy of a newspaper clipping. "This is the photocopy from the cabin," I whisper loudly. "Masetta boy missing. Native settler tensions rise. Fifth native boy goes missing in 2 years. Native chief says disappearances did not happen until settlers arrived. James Hendricks has been confined in the county jail pending further evidence." I look up at Carl. Wait. So, was it James that was kidnapping children? Carl shrugs at me.
I don't really know, man. And I don't think it matters right now.
He did have a point considering we weren't trapped in the nightmare anymore, though I still feel like something is missing. Yeah, you're right. I fold up and shove the paper into my pocket anyway.
So, the phone's dead. I think we just grab the keys and...
Carl's ears prick up. I'd do the same with mine if I could.
You hear that?
No? Carl moves to the stairs.
Stay here. I'll be right back.
I shout whisper. What?
I'll be right back. I think I hear Raven.
I bite my lip. This new boost of confidence that Carl's gotten is great and all, but his hero complex is about to get him killed. I follow the ram to the top of the stairs, watching him about to start backwards before jabbing him in the back with my knuckles. I look back into the almost as dark kitchen before making up my mind and hopping down the stairs after the ram. He jumps.
Holy shit! You scared the hell out of me!
Carl also shout whispers. Well, fuck you for thinking of leaving me up here. I told you outside, we're sticking together.
Okay. Just hold on to my shirt or something.
Okay.
Fuck.
With that, Carl starts making his way down the stairs, with me limping behind. Slowly but surely, I start to hear something, too. It's muffled and quiet and sounds very much like a voice. The voice is calm and reasonable, and I'm pretty sure it's Raven's. Carl stops next to the door on our left, where the voice seems to be coming from. Wait, maybe I should open it? If Jenna's in there, it's not like she's going to go after me, right? Carl seems to hesitate in the darkness.
I don't know, man.
Don't worry, you'll be right next to me, right? There's a moment of silence again before Carl shifts next to me, to the side of the door.
All right. But get behind me if she goes after you.
I nod as well. Then I do not as well, even if he can't see me. I take a breath, steeling myself for what might be behind the door. Slowly, I push it open. It's also dark in this room, the weight room, I realize. Talking stops immediately before it turns into a whine.
Oh my god! The door opened by itself! This is insane!
I feel for the light switch next to the door and flip it on. There sits Raven, tied up to a weight machine with what looks like several pieces of clothing. A few pieces of paper sits in his lap and a few pieces of paper sit on his lap and on the ground. The husky is staring right at me, but there's no sign of recognition in his face. There's no sign of Jenna either, thank God. Raven?
Oh god! It knows my name!
Raven starts writhing around in his bonds.
Mr. Ghost Thing, what do you want? Do you want money? Honestly, I don't have very much money at all. I work at the mall.
Carl pokes his head in too.
Hey, Raven? Can you hear me?
But Raven keeps babbling on about his job. Carl frowns and shifts past me into the room. I stand in the doorway looking back into the hall, but only seeing darkness. Raven's still chattering when Carl reaches out, resting a hand on his shoulder. The shriek that Raven lets out makes my fur stand on end.
Oh my god, oh my god, no, 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 no! Shh!
Carl presses a hand onto the husky's mouth, muffling his nose just a bit, but that's when Raven's eyes widen.
Oh. Oh. Hey, Carl.
He stares around, wide-eyed.
Wow. Where am I?
In my house. In my weight room. Are you okay?
The husky looks at Carl again.
What? How?
Carl shrugs.
We have no idea.
I look back into the hallway to make sure Jenna isn't coming after all that shrieking, then look back at the other two. So, it's that easy? We just have to touch him? Carl turns to me.
I guess it's like it really is just a dream or something.
Hey, Chase.
Raven is craning his head around Carl now. Hey, Raven. Raven stares around at the room again.
Wow. Just a second ago, I was in a really fancy-looking bedroom. It had a bed with curtains on it and stuff.
Raven, how'd you get tied up?
Oh, Jenna, of course. Actually, she calmed down a bit and I brought her into the house. And then she punched me.
Carl sets to untying the husky while Raven rubs the back of his head against the weight machine.
And I fell down the stairs, and she dragged me into this room and tied me up.
Raven smiles sheepishly.
Honestly, I probably could have fought her off. But facing a tiny, maybe a serial killer girl with a knife is kind of scary, so I just did what she told me.
That's okay. Do you, know where she is now? I glance back into the hallway. Still nothing.
Yeah, she's right behind you. No, she went back out. She did come back like 10 minutes ago. They'll shoved these papers in my face.
Raven points at the papers in his lap and on the ground with a free hand. Carl gets started on untying the binds around his legs.
Said something about these being the real letters, the truth or whatever.
I limp into the room, partly because I don't want to get caught by Jenna if she suddenly comes in, and also because I want to look at those letters. They're short. One of them is about a paragraph, the other is only a few words. Because it's second nature now, I pick up the longer one and read it aloud. I don't know what to say after finding your dungeon. No, there are no other words for it, James. It's a dungeon. And after finding the boy's body, finding out what you've done to it, there truly are no words, James. I only know now why you were never satisfied with me. All of your sweet words have turned to poison. I'm leaving you to the law and leaving this wretched town behind. I only hope that God has no mercy on your soul. I pick up the other letter, placing it over the first. You are disgusting. I don't have James's letters, so I have no idea what John was responding to. I also don't know who to believe anymore. John or James or even the thing they were talking about could alter the notes left around in John or James or even the thing they were talking about could alter the notes left around in that dreamscape. There's no way I can even begin to piece together who was manipulating what. But maybe because I'm in the real world now, and this is certainly real, this could be the actual truth. I also noticed the collection of dust on these photocopied pages. Taken from the scrapbook and stashed somewhere. Probably the crawl space, considering the state they're in. Is Jenna in the crawl space right now, searching for letters? Raven finally pulls his feet out of the ropes, rubbing his arms. He nods at me.
Said she wrote that one in jail after James had written to him. I gotta say, since that whole knife thing, seems like she doesn't know who she is.
I fold up the letters, putting them in my pocket with the news article.
I mean, she keeps on going about James and letters.
Did she say anything else about the letters? Raven frowns, looking at the ceiling.
She said something about not being able to finish the game because one of them burned and the other got eaten.
I put a hand on my pocket. Well, I found the one that burned on the counter upstairs. I don't think it burned. We just saw it burn. I think to the tree outside in front of the house, but Carl shakes his head.
Doesn't really matter now that we're free of this shit. Let's find the keys and get the hell out.
Carl starts on the last restraints around Raven's ankles. I get up and limp to the doorway again, looking out towards the crawl space. In that moment, I hear a whisper of movement down the hall. I limp out a bit more, watching as two tall ears slowly materialize out of the darkness. For a moment, I see a young male fox in overalls in front of me.